Hello, Blue Tip, it's the one and only Icebound the Glaceon. And if you guys didn't know, there's been a huge update to the Buoyancy mod. And the major things that have been, changed in the sense is we now have different rudder or fin pieces. So you can make your own custom rudders and I guess you can make props as well using these. We have the new models for the water activators, the local. Wait, I gotta check this actually. Yeah, you got the local and the global one. So this one will affect every part on your creation, and this one will only affect this parts on the main body. So stuff on bearings and pistons, this one will affect, and this one will not. We have the air compressor block, which I believe, what is it? Just makes it really, yeah, 5 times heavier because it sucks in more air. We have the void block with, I don't know, it looks really nice. And the actual functionality is, oh god, I can't believe we finally have it. Before we had a sphere around the character, and it's just now we can actually change the buoyancy of a creation using this, and we could also void, a rectangular box around the player, which is awesome. And then we have our props still. We have our I don't know why this isn't the helium activator, but then again, it might be too big. But it's a burner. Basically, it interacts with the envelope blocks, making it more gets more lift. Then we have our helium activators, so they're just little helium tanks, which I think is actually really cute. We have our water sensor, which is it's actually more useful than you think. If you put a bunch of these at different heights in your creation below the water, depending on how high it is in the water, right? Like say if you have a really heavy load on it, right? And you want it to be more buoyant because of that, so you want it to, suck in more air. You can have a piston move, the void block around, making there, be more void inside the creation, making it more buoyant. So yeah, and if you have multiple of those, you can have more pistons push it further away. And yeah, you can even put it on a toggle too. So I think that's really nice. Um, I guess we can make that with these, but we don't really have that curved piece, but we don't really need it, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm weird. So yeah, that's all the blocks other than the plastic, the envelope, and the no, sorry, plastic, the envelope, and the what is that? Helium? Oh, so that one's helium, that one's plastic, that one's envelope. I should really know this stuff before trying to do a tutorial of it. Okay, so other really cool changes, other than just the blocks and the functionality themselves, is the way that the water is displayed, as you see here. So now it gets darker as you go down, which is awesome. It also, the physics have been greatly enhanced. So right now you can see, obviously, I float in water. If I crouch, I go down. I can still swim in it, right? You could also paint the water layer itself. So I can paint it white, but you can still see it has a slight gradient, and if I paint it a little darker, yeah, it gets really dark. But you can also do colors as well, so like that for me is like the perfect gradient. It's just I don't really like the color. So usually I go with like, say, I don't know, that one, or sometimes a little bit darker, right? You could also do, purple, which I think looks really cool. And for some reason, I think it's the brown one, yeah, it goes red. I think the green one goes a little bit purple. No, never mind. That's just for Con. He just needs his green. Okay, so now that we have the different layers with the different colors, and as you go down, it's still still dark as all hell down there. Eventually we'll try working on particles and stuff, or Casper will. I'm just there to watch him code because I find it enjoyable watching someone else do all the work. Okay, so the next things we do, we have a single layer one, which say if this one is causing too much lag because there are way too many layers being rendered, you can always just go back to the old one, which again still has the same physics. just, is a single layer. So this is, from my experience, not much less leggy, but for other players, apparently it's a lot less leggy. Um, Apparently has a little bit of effect in multiplayer as well, depending on the host's speed, I guess you could say, how well their performance on the computer is. So a few things you can do now with the new water that you couldn't do before, or couldn't do as easily before, is say you have these air void blocks. Remember how I said you can actually void an area and create buoyancy to an object? Let's just, go down here. Let's make a... again, this tutorial is going to be more focused on the water aspect since the helium part has not been changed other than just the models. Yeah, if we put these here and we connect either or to either or, now I no longer have to crouch. So as long as I'm in the space, as you can see, my physics are just as if I was on ground, because in the game's coding right now, I am on ground, which is amazing. So let's say if we wanted to go really far deep and you wanted to look up into the abyss and there's water above you, yeah, you could literally just put either, like, I don't know, something like, actually, let's delete this. Just, yeah, let's just go in here and then delete it. Okay, so you can make something like this ugly thing over here, which took me a little bit of time. Yeah, you can make a little base underwater. Actually, I'm gonna paint that. I want it to be darker. So I'll put it on like that color. And yes, you can sprint in water to go faster. Also, if you guys are having any issues with the old creations being ported over to the new one, there is a legacy version of the mod, so you can destroy the old mod blocks and put the new ones. If you want anyone to blame, don't blame Cass or blame me. I'm the one that wanted, everything to be in a new mod, because the old one, the physics were just But like, look at this. You have your little moon pool. You have, a view that's dark as all hell if you look down, dark as all hell if you look up. And obviously I can, well, if I have a roof above my head, let's crouch. There, see? Because I have air void blocks in here that you can see the connections. Right, so I have this section right here, which would be from there to there to there. So this little section, pretty much there, and then this entire room up here, and then just that hallway there. And obviously I can jump in, and now I have water affecting me. And then I can go up, and then I can jump back in, right? And I should be able to, if I do this properly, just jump right out. Yeah. So the nice things about this is obviously you can, have your creations underground, well to the ground, and just, just have an underwater base. It even looks, well, in my opinion, it looks pretty damn cool. Obviously you could probably make something a billion times better than this, but remember, this also works inside your ships. So if you want to make a massive ship that has, you can walk around in, or even just have a boat where you don't want to float once you go below the hull, or, to the lower underwater part of the hull, right? You just put an air void block, and it even makes it more buoyant, more accurate as well. So let's just quickly get in this little bugger. This will showcase a little bit of cool thingies. I hope the physics haven't changed. Oof. Hopefully they haven't. Okay, so what this thing has is, if you look inside, obviously, since we're in air void, should be able to go down. Yeah, so we can still go down. There we go. So we're in an air void right now, right? We have our air void blocks, right? I don't actually have those going around the player right now. I have those going in the ballast tanks on the sides of the creation. So based on, whether you want to go up or down, you want to either increase the ballast tanks, so to go up, so to fill them with more air, or to decrease them, which would be, should be that one, yeah, and you can decrease them to go down. Obviously, there's better configurations for this. You could also do more air, right? But otherwise, I just have these little thrusters. I have them inside. You don't have to have them inside, obviously. You can put them anywhere as long as they're below water. Yeah, I use those for turning, going forward, and going back. So, yeah, you can actually interact with the ballasts. Just make your own custom ballasts, which is, in my opinion, really cool, especially, oh, there you go. That's probably why we weren't as balanced. But yeah, we can go down. Oh, that's up. And then we can go down, yeah. Obviously, since I'm using really small ballast tanks in the side, it's going to be slow, but I just wanted it to work. I wanted to balance it so it's neutrally balanced. Like as you saw, it was sitting there. It wasn't even touching anything. It just sits there. Just move away from the wall. You see? Just doesn't move. Neutrally buoyant, which is cool. And obviously we float when we get out. Oh, didn't mean to edit the controller. Just turn off the switch. So let's say if you're having any issues with any of the creations in your world, things are flipping out, well, there's a thing you can do about that. There is a block called the Kill Block Modern, which apparently just kills all the scripts in the mod. So if you're having extreme lag, someone's trolling you in your world, things are breaking, just place one of those. It'll kill all the scripts, and you'll have a much better experience. Until you find the issue, resolve it, and then you can get rid of it. Next cool thing, let's see. Aside from custom rudders, actually, I never really showed those off. Let's make a custom rudder. So, if you look at a boat, usually the piece attached to the rudder is about that size there, so we based it off of that. So you'll notice the rudder's small. You also might notice that the rudder doesn't really have much turning force. Yeah. Not a lot. It's got enough. It's just not a lot. And it doesn't really need a lot either. But like you'll have, I'll have to ask him to fix the rotations. Okay. Wait, wasn't there Oh, that's right. It was. I didn't want a piece that was going the other way. I just wanted it to be like this. Yeah, that's my fault that there isn't a connection point there or way to connect those. Oh well. Okay, let's just add a block apparently. Hopefully. There we go. And I do want to do the round one on the other side because I'm weird. And yes, I know I can crouch and rotate in the opposite direction. I'm too lazy for that. Yeah, you can make your own custom rudders. You can make them literally any shape you want. And yes, they act, accordingly, obviously, because they are based off of the same script that's in the old Wings mod, I believe. And then also similar to this. So, yeah. So you could even use them on your airplanes if you wanted more pieces, which is awesome. You could also use your wing pieces in the Wamra as well. I believe these only, I don't remember. Do they only work when they're underwater? They probably work when they're above or below. Trying to think, maybe they should work better if they're underwater. But he might have already added that, and I'm just talking out my arse. Let's see, what else do we have here? Aside from being able to adjust the points inside of an air void, the new models with the new physics. Let's show a little bit of the new physics, because I only showed something that was neutrally buoyant. Let's quickly go over here. Let's make a platform. And I don't know if I still have the video for the old one, for what this used to do. But like, yeah. That it's the way it's calculated now, it's voxel based, right? So if it's larger than a certain size in a direction, right? You'll try to split it up into sections. This will be for, actually, no, let's just paint it. Because before you'd have to paint it for it to see the voxels, and now we have it code-based. So you'd have 4, 4, and 4, and then obviously, since it's that way, there, you'd have that way, right? And it'd just be a nice little checkered pattern. So if you had your creation like that before, with a platform, you had a checkered pattern, right? It would actually be pretty damn similar to the calculations going on here. But if there are too many voxels, or I don't know if it's voxels or shapes in general, it might be just shapes, it will go back to the old code, because the old code was less laggy, and when you have that many shapes on it, it doesn't need the higher accuracy for the lower shape count. So there you go. He also cleaned up the code a lot, which, like, end effect and he changed the value. So like, yeah, hitting that actually shakes it around a bit, and it should level out because there's water tension. See? "Quote unquote" water tension. It's basically just a fall off value. So yeah, you can actually move yourself around, and it's stable enough to stand on. I can even jump on this. That's how good it is. If you add like, I don't know, let's say a platform, there you go. It's still stable. It's actually treated accordingly. Before this, it would not like this at all. Let's see. I probably should have had a video ready of the old one, but I wonder if I still have it. Let's see. I'm gonna be late for work. Never mind. I have to go. Shit. I have to be at work right now. Let's make a tutorial 20 minutes before I have to go to work. Doy. Well, if you guys liked the video, hit the like button. If you disliked it, why are you still watching? There's so many YouTubers that do this kind of stuff better. If Casper, Cameron, whatever, doesn't like this, I will obviously make a new one because I feel bad. I feel like the video is shit. The mod is amazing, and I feel like I didn't do it justice. There's so many more things I would love to show, and I hope a lot more content creators try this mod. Because back then, the physics just weren't there, the performance wasn't there, and now we finally have it. Now all we need is like what? Particles? Just to reduce a little bit of lag and make it so like it's a little bit more streamlined. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but then again, particles are a pain in the ass to get into. Like even Brent's been working on, I think for the past 2 weeks, just a flame. Not just a flame, physics with flames and interaction. He's working on a new flamethrower physics for the mod pack beta, so that's cool. Yeah, and if you like it, you want to see more of this kind of stuff, or if you have anything you want me to build using this mod, let me know in the comments. Hit the like button. I'll put a link to the creation of the mod and the creator himself and his channel, because you know what? He spent almost 100 hours. Actually, wait, no, it was 7 days, about 10 hours each day, so 70 hours minimum. That's not even including the time he spent thinking about the code and writing it down, even though he wasn't actually able to code at the time. Like, and he has a donation thing if you guys want to donate, because he spent a lot of time on this and effort, and I hope you guys love it, because I fucking love the new water mod now. It's what we needed like a year ago, and now we finally have it. Oh my god, I love mods that add functionality like this and physics. It's like when the wings mod first came out, I was like, holy shit. And when the water mod came, or the buoyancy mod first came out, even though it was spelled wrong, I loved it, even though it was a little glitchy, but he didn't really have much to work with. He had to use sounds for weight instead of, having all the stuff he has now, which is amazing. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Johnny.